We pay a visit to the Northwest Suburban Conference, where a pair of teams are looking to find some momentum in the middle of December. The 2-3 Maple Grove Crimson, returning to full strength, they host the 3-1 Rogers Royals. Rogers winning 3 in a row. They have several Division I athletes. This should be an exciting Northwest Suburban Conference barometer. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by Alex Nagel. Alex, Maple Grove started the season shorthanded, and 3 straight late conference teams in their schedule. They lost all 3, and Mark Cook told me beforehand he would have loved to have had his full contingent of players, including Ari Gordon, but they're coming off a close win over Shakopee last Thursday, and with Maple Grove's roster back at full strength, you have to imagine the Crimson should be ready to contend.
Well, there's no question, Mike, that head coach Mark Cook is very excited and very glad to have Ari Gordon back in the lineup and at full strength. Now I think with her back in the lineup and on the floor, you're going to see Maple Grove be a lot more fluent on offense. And plus, with the experience and leadership that she has, it's almost like having a coach on the floor when they're on offense.
Not to mention Kyla, Overskei, and Kennedy Klick leading the team in scoring. So Maple Grove, don't count them out, even though they had a rough start to the season. Rogers, 3-1. They have a pair of confirmed Division I commits in Clara Glad and Ellie Buzzelle. Ellie going to Grand Canyon. Clara Glad verbaling her commitment last week to UC Davis. Buzzelle off to an explosive start on offense. If she can get another big game tonight, Rogers should be in contention.
Well, I tell you what, they're going to be a factor in this Section 8, and I think this Rogers team has a lot to prove, too. Remember, last year they got off to like a 1-8 start. They finished subpar in the year at 10-10, so this team has a lot to prove, and they're very hungry, and they want to start off on a good note here tonight.
They certainly do, and they have the pieces to do it. We're not sure who's going to win this game, but we can't wait to find out. Stick around. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Maple Grove High School. Alex Nagel, Mike Peden with you. Northwest Suburban Conference basketball. Alex, I suppose with all the conferences and schools I've taken you to over the years, it's only fitting that I pay a visit to this conference once in a while.
Well, I definitely feel much more at home here tonight, Mike, I have to confess. But at the same time, I'm really interested to see both of these teams here. You know, this is really, in an odd kind of way, a new beginning for both of these squads.
And speaking of new beginnings, Rogers, they started their season with 5 straight road games. This is the last of them. And that is in part because they are renovating their facility. They are getting a new gym. It's scheduled to open in January. So the field house where they played will still be there as a backup facility, but now they'll get a basketball and volleyball specific gym. So Carly Anderson and the rest of the Rogers team has a lot to be excited about. We're introducing the lineups here. For Rogers, we'll have to take a stab on points per game because they haven't tabulated them consistently yet, but I can tell you Ellie Buzzelle is averaging 28 points per game. That is quite the start, including a 38-point effort earlier this season. So I have a feeling on the scouting report, limiting Ellie Buzzelle's production will be key. And for Maple Grove, they spread it around, and with Ari Gordon back in the rotation, you figure they'll get some help there. Emma Kanz as well. She is also back in the lineup after missing the first few games. So Maple Grove at full strength. We'll see how that changes their fortunes as the season moves along. Here are the starters. We'll recap them for you for the visiting Rogers Royals. It's Clara Glad, number 11. Emily Glass, number 14. Ellie Buzzelle, number 24. Allie Bourne, number 25. And Caitlin Mache, number 31. Glad going to UC Davis, Buzzelle going to Grand Canyon. Maple Grove will start. Audrey Corman, number 5. Claire Stern, number 14. Kara Hogue, number 15. Kyla Overskei, number 24. And Jordan Odie, the freshman, number 31. Alex, the last time we were here, Maple Grove, Eden Prairie, Jordan Odie put on a show. So as much as we were talking about the senior leadership, and they have plenty of it, don't forget about Jordan Odie.
Oh,
she can be a difference maker too.
Absolutely. And, we have to remember these players off the bench as well. Remember Kennedy Klick, what she did against Eden Prairie just a few short weeks ago?
And Ari Gordon back in the lineup as well. So Maple Grove, no shortage of X factors. They are looking for their 3rd straight win. Rogers looking for their 4th straight win. These two teams only meet once, as you know, as Alex does. The rest of you, if you don't follow this conference, they're split into 2 divisions. You play your interdivision opponents twice, or intra-division twice, interdivision once. Maple Grove and Rogers in separate divisions, so they only play each other once a year. Rogers wins the tip. The lone loss for Rogers came against St. Michael Albertville to start the season. And that's going to be a quick trip to the free throw line for number 11, Clara Glad, who is averaging about 15 points per game.
Nice little give and go play there. I think the one thing that head coach Mark Cook wants to see from his squad tonight that he didn't get a few short weeks ago against Eden Prairie was some consistency, particularly on the offensive end. Remember that dry streak they had against Eden Prairie? That proved costly in the end.
That is how Eden Prairie has won all their games so far, though. The way they approach the game, that aggressive defensive posture, they wear opponents out. It happened to Maple Grove. It happened with Lakeville North. Stepping into the 3 was Buzzelle. That's off the mark. Glad did make both of her free throws to get Rogers on the board to start this one.
Good strong rebound by Corman on the other end.
3 from the key. Swish. Jordan Odie. Odie averaging just 7.5 per game, but she can turn it on.
A 5'11 freshman doing it there.
Rogers looking for the answer, and dead ball rebound to Maple Grove. It's early. Carly Anderson, the head coach of Rogers, and Mark Cook, the head coach of Maple Grove. The Crimson had trouble bringing the ball up. Glad with the steal, but too strong. And here come the Crimson. Odie tried to work off the screen. Instead, Maple Grove will reset. Odie from the wing. Crimson looking to go inside, and they will. Claire Stern with the finish.
Good patience there, demonstrated by Maple Grove.
This is Mache. Turnaround, banks it in. (5-4), Maple Grove with the early lead. Rogers looking to apply some pressure. Buzzelle with the deflection.
It's going to be interesting, Mike, to see how Maple Grove handles that full and half-court pressure that Rogers is showing right now.
Right now, Maple Grove's ticket to success is feeding it to Stern and letting her feast in the paint. She has 2 buckets down low. Rogers with the answer. Emily Glass making the cut to the rim.
Great pass that time. Great recognition.
And it's 7-6. Maple Grove launching the three. That's Odie, no good. Here's Buzzelle. Mache. And Mache called for traveling.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was better that way because I thought for a moment that she might have called,
she was
for the
in a
foul
little,
on Hogue.
She was in a little trouble there. Oh, nice steal.
That's one way to get out of trouble. Allie Bourne causing some trouble on the defensive end and gets a pair of points out of it. Maple Grove, they've got to be careful with this opportunistic Rogers defense, but they don't get set, and that allows Overskei to score in transition. A high-octane start to this one, Alex.
No doubt.
9-8 the score in favor of the Crimson. Glass fakes the three, and another traveling call. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Rogers showing no signs of letting up on that pressure defense right now. Well, that's one of the dangers. When you employ that pressure defense, if it's broken, there's usually somebody open on the other end.
And that somebody was Audrey Corman. That's her first field goal. Glad fakes the three, draws the foul. Glad, last week, verbaling her commitment to California Davis. I say verbal because she's a junior, so it won't be official until next year when she signs that NLI. And Buzzelle going to Grand Canyon. If you're wondering where that is, yes, it's where you might think it is, Arizona.
Yep. So who my alma mater beat in the NCAA tournament this last season.
Someone in the audience said good move, and Alex, I'd say that was a good move for Clara Glad to get your first field goal. But Maple Grove looking to score in transition again. Overskei missing the three. Mache with the rebound. And we continue this seesaw affair. Entry pass tipped, and Corman will get the steal. Overskei to the rim and in. Overskei, the senior, she's up to 4 points. Here's Buzzelle. Odie with the rejection.
What a block.
And the Crimson have numbers again, but the pass is offline.
I tell you what, Odie got all of that.
Jordan Odie, the freshman, but doesn't play like one.
No.
And here is Emma Kanz, the 6'1 senior. Couldn't play earlier this year. A little give and go. Buzzelle was looking for the step back three, but I think Maple Grove is well aware of her capabilities. 13-10. And Bourne in a little bit of trouble. Will back out for a reset. Looking to go inside. Ellie Buzzelle turns a nearly broken play into a long two. Nice An entry pass.
Nice touch there by Buzzelle on that one.
And nice improvisation. I thought it was going to end in disaster. Odie with the hesitation move, but that allowed Glad to catch up and get the swat.
I think Glad got a piece of that.
It looked that way from here. Mache against Kanz. Glad went one way. Mache thought she was going the other way, and that's a turnover on Rogers.
Now with the insertion of Emma Kanz into that Maple Grove lineup, it kind of changes things up with Rogers in that half-court offense. Now it's going to be much tougher for them to go inside.
Well, Rogers is sending in Megan Heinen, number 32, to try to go toe-to-toe with Kanz. It will stay Maple Grove ball. 12:23 to go in the first half. 13-12. Neither side has made much of a run yet. Overskei for three. Offensive rebound for number 23, Ava Cassette. Odie again,
Oh.
and one.
Great first step by Odie. Getting the separation.
Jordan Odie. Doing wonders for the Crimson thus far. When she's not playing basketball, runs cross country and plays the saxophone.
Talented freshman for sure. On a lot of different fronts.
Not someone I had on my radar, but then again, I missed out on most of last season, so I've been playing a little bit of catch-up in my return to basketball coverage. Glad fires the three, no good. Peden with the offensive rebound, and the shovel pass to Glad for two. Every play Rogers or Maple Grove makes, Rogers has an answer for. The Crimson do have a 2-point lead, but Rogers hanging with their Northwest Suburban rival. And Rogers, the newcomer, the newest member of that conference, they joined 3 years ago.
You know, those second point chants in that game with Eden Prairie had to make head coach Mark Cook cringe a little bit. And certainly when he saw that, that's one thing that he wants to eliminate.
Overskei back in the lineup. Another change for Rogers. New coach, although familiar face, Carly Anderson. Pat Bolin was the head coach, but he took a Division I job, and so Carly returned to the head coaching ranks. Ava Cassette was in trouble, and she'll get called for traveling, lost her footing there. (16-14). Rogers has gone toe-to-toe with Maple Grove. Dead ball rebound to the Royals. With 11:16 left in the first half. And the Rogers Royals have missed a couple of bunnies inside. Buzzelle used up the dribble, finds Glad on the bounce. Heinen, baseline J, does not drop. And the rebound goes to Odie. Another cut, and shooting free throws will be Kyla Overskei.
Okay, Overskei was in some traffic trying to put that thing up. Did a good job drawing the foul.
Mark Cook considers Overskei one of the best pure shooters out there. Overskei, a member of the National Honor Society Link Crew, and plans to finish her high school career playing golf in the spring. She also doesn't like shopping for anything, if you didn't follow our last Maple Grove broadcast. So if you have any shopping sprees planned, I would not recommend Kyla Overskei to join your party. But I can recommend her as a scorer, and it's 18-14. High-low play for Rogers results in a bucket for Alexis Moberg. And once again, this back and forth swing continues. Kyla Overskei swings a three-pointer in Maple Grove's direction.
Overskei's really heating up in this first half.
9 points for Overskei. Buzzelle on the backdoor cut. She'll shoot two. Buzzelle, the leading scorer for the Royals, averaging 28 per game. Passed 1,000 points last year in the condensed season. She's also good at spike ball.
Oh.
Now, that's a sport I don't hear of often.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that one at all.
Maybe Ellie can explain it to us after the game.
Buzzelle, 24, is at the line.
Buzzelle had solid year, I believe, with Fury. I've covered so many AAU games this past spring and summer, I forgot who's where. The ultimate silly season in prep basketball. 10:08 to go, 21-18 the score. Maple Grove is slowly inching ahead, and I mean slowly because, again, every time they make a big bucket, Rogers has the answer, but Maple Grove has had a couple of threes go their way, a traditional three and a three-point play. They look for another three. They won't get it from Cosette. Glad working off a couple of screens. Ooh, tough pass to Mache, and Caitlin gets bailed out on the foul there. I'm not sure that was the pass or that was the play that.
Yeah, that was a little dangerous there with that pass getting that into traffic like that, but they got away with it.
9:44 left in the first half. Cosette with the foul. And these two teams, as Alex alluded to, in separate sections, so this game just has conference implications at stake. And Moberg with the turnaround for two.
What a move by Alexis Moberg. I think that's her second basket of the night. Am I wrong? Am I correct?
That is correct as usual, Mr. Nagel. 21-20, Rogers back within one. And Buzzelle swiped the ball from an unsuspecting Kara Hogue. Rogers can't finish. Again, they've had chances to take the lead, and they're going to get called for the foul there. It's still early, but Carly Anderson may be perplexed a bit with Rogers trying to take the lead. They've had chances, and every time they get within one or two, they just can't seem to get that score.
And you know, the thing of it is,
timeout on the floor.
It's early, Mike, but I've always said, and I've always said this to coaches as well, that, you know, in close games, it's those little things, missed layups, missed bunnies, you know, not being able to get the rebound or the loose ball. Those things always add up in a close game.
Buzzelle, by the way, only has 4 points, but she does hold the Rogers school record for most three-pointers in a season, hitting 56, and career three-pointers, 149. That was before the season began.
Yeah.
So Ellie Buzzelle already etching a piece of history for the Royals. Averaged 15.3 points per game in the pandemic-condensed season last year. Overskei inside. That's a walk.
Yep.
Tough break. Corbin had the bucket, but took too many steps to get there.
Another chance here for the Rogers Royals.
They trail by one. Couldn't convert on the steal. In the last possession, I should say. Moberg had a tough hook shot there, and it will be Maple Grove ball. Odie open for three. Mache tips the rebound to herself. A steal by the Crimson. Odie with the finish. Odie with 8, Overskei with 9, and together those two are helping Maple Grove hold off Rogers.
Tell you what a first half it's been for Odie.
7:55 to go. Glad had the position.
Yep.
And went in for two off the touch pass. Glad up to 8. And the UC Davis verbal commit doing wonders for Rogers thus far. Shovel pass to Hogue. This is Claire Stern.
Boy, dangerous cross-court pass there.
Those cross-court skips are always tricky. Rogers will take over, and here is our first appearance of Ari Gordon and Kennedy Klick.
Good to see her in there. Well, I tell you what, Mike, Rogers has had chances galore here to take the lead. They haven't been able to capitalize. Let's see if they can do it on this possession here.
Mache working her way inside, but she walked. Ari Gordon missed the first few games of the season, non-COVID illness. Rejoined the team for the game with Minnetonka. And Maple Grove held their own, but they let Minnetonka erupt early in the first half, and that platoon of speed built up enough of an edge to hold them off. Kennedy Klick, if you watched our last Maple Grove broadcast, played for 2 North Tartan AAU teams. Meanwhile, Rogers has another chance to take the lead here. Mache got the rebound, bounced it off her foot, recovers, gets a new dribble, and lost it again. Mache.
And that's what happens when you dribble into traffic like that.
Yeah, Mache's been struggling in the interior. Kennedy Klick, deep three. And a smart move on the part of Glad. She's on her knee, so can't really get up. Just bounced it off of Gordon, and that will give Rogers a chance to reset. Rogers, their 3 straight wins. Brainerd, Park Center, and Coon Rapids. Brainerd the closest. Park Center rebuilding, and Coon Rapids 94-29 was the final in that one, so that might give you an idea how that turned out. But a win is a win is a win. And the way Rogers has played against some higher level teams as Ari Gordon scores in transition should be enough to give the Northwest Suburban and maybe Section 8 pause.
What an added dimension she brings to this Maple Grove team, Mike.
And Gordon this past year getting plenty of dimensional support. Rogers will call a timeout, playing with the Metro Stars, their top 2022 team. That included Aaliyah Crump, several of the Hopkins kids, Savannah Jones. Ari Gordon, no slouch.
No.
So 25-22 is the score. And Ari Gordon, who scored the last basket for the Crimson, considered by the breakdown as one of the toughest on-ball defenders. Gordon mimics her game after Scottie Pippen, and not much of a reason other than he's one of her favorite players. When she was asked what skills does it take to be a great defender, she said it's all about hustle and heart. She's a woman of few words, but a lot of talent, and she likes to paint in her spare time, even though she says she's not good at it yet. But I go back to what Bob Ross said. It takes practice. I'm sure Ari wasn't a basketball whiz overnight.
Yeah.
It's all about practice.
Yep.
There are no mistakes, just happy accidents, at least when it comes to painting.
Yes.
But hustle and heart, as you noted or alluded to, Alex, that's something that was missing from Maple Grove when Ari couldn't play. Having her back in the lineup, again, Mark Cook said I would have loved to have had her for the first 2 games of the season, Wayzata and Eden Prairie. But Maple Grove, it's not like they were run out of the building in any of those games.
No. And, certainly Maple Grove had their chances in that game with Eden Prairie when we did that game here just a few weeks ago.
And even against Minnetonka, they did inch their way back. They did draw the margin down to 12 after going down by 19 early. So in the case of Minnetonka, they just got floored. And with Eden Prairie, their defense wore them down. So with Maple Grove, you don't want to take the loss, of course, but you have to take some confidence as well, knowing that if you can prevent some of those things from happening in a potential rematch, who knows?
Yep.
They won't see either of them until the state tournament round with EP and Minnetonka in Section 2, Wayzata in 6. Kennedy Klick times the pass. She's got a straight line to the bucket.
I tell you, what a steal and what a finish by Kennedy Klick. I mean, she is a budding superstar.
Klick started her prep career at Maranatha, moved to De La Salle, then moved to Maple Grove after the turbulence that occurred at De La Salle. Here's Buzzelle. I'll tell you what, Alex, Maple Grove doing a good job keeping her at bay. On the other end, Ari Gordon.
Yeah, that's
on the transition action.
2 transition scores in a row now for Maple Grove. 7-point lead as well. Let's see how Rogers responds here.
Mache for 3. Maple Grove ball, and the Crimson throwing that first proverbial punch. It was back and forth, back and forth. Now the Crimson with a couple of transition scores.
You're seeing already, I think, what a difference Ari Gordon makes with this Maple Grove team, Mike.
As we noted before, a woman of few words, but immense talent. You could say that about a lot of these players on the floor. Klick. Off the cut. She'll go to line for 2. And Klick, averaging 12.8 points per game, came off the bench tonight, but again, as Mark Cook told me, he has tinkered with his starting lineup every game. It's been a different 5. And Mark considers Kennedy a long, versatile player on both ends of the floor. She can play multiple spots on offense and defend all 5 spots on defense. Kennedy Klick waiting for her free throws.
You know, the encouraging thing for Mark Cook right now, I think, he knows his team isn't clicking fully in all cylinders just yet. But it's only December. You wait till about mid-January or early February, this will be clicking on all cylinders, and they're going to be fun to watch.
I did ask Kennedy what it was like to go against her former high school and AAU teammates in Keani Lockett when they played Minnetonka a week and a half ago. Another traveling call on Rogers. And Kennedy said it was a lot of fun, but I'm glad I don't have to play Keani again anytime soon.
So Megan Heinen get caught in traffic down there and take that extra step.
And in her defense, Alex, I don't think a lot of folks want to play Keani Lockett on defense.
This is where Rogers has really got to dig in on defense, and boy, they did.
Instead, it's Maple Grove digging in on the offensive end. Kennedy Klick with the tray. She's up to 6 off the bench, and the Crimson extend their lead. 33-22. Entry pass tipped. Back to Rogers. You get the sense, Alex, that Rogers, they're right there, but they've struggled a bit on some of the passing sets.
Yeah.
They seem to be making a couple more miscues compared to Maple Grove.
And that's just the difference. I mean, when you have both Kennedy Klick and Ari Gordon there in the lineup with their length, it's just really hard to do what you do in your normal half-court sets.
And Ari Gordon capitalizing on the mismatch. She had the agility advantage over Megan Heinen and went all the way in for 2. It's now a 13-point lead for the Crimson. Another entry pass. Odie with the tip and the steal. Can't hook up with Klick. I'll tell you what, Alex, Bong might have the best seat in the house. He's surrounded by cheerleaders. And right on top of the action.
Yeah.
The cheerleaders, I do think, add something extra.
Oh,
they weren't here in their last game.
I know.
And that's why we say best seat in the house, because Bong, our camera op, is getting a front row seat. Another turnover on Rogers. This time an offensive foul.
Suddenly nothing going right for the Rogers Royals here.
No. But to finish up on Bond, the reason why I said he's got the best seat in the house is because he gets an up-close and personal view to that school spirit on both ends. Some high-octane basketball talent and some high-octane cheerleaders in terms of effort. Someone said shooter. Well, Kennedy Klick certainly is one, but she's not the only shooter. Tried to go up, though, against a Rogers defender and Allie Bourne. That didn't work out. Buzzelle. Oh, Heinen.
Oh, boy.
I thought if she went up, now jump ball. Maple Grove with the arrow. I thought Heinen, if she went up right away, I think she has a bucket, but either she lost her balance or she changed her mind at the last second.
You know, that's where you have to be decisive.
And for a moment, I thought Kennedy Klick was going to bring the ball up backwards. Entry pass against a double team. That's difficult. Bourne, though, got to be careful. Launches the three when she saw no other option available. And the rebound takes a fortuitous bounce to Mackenzie Strandness, number 12. And given the struggles of Rogers as of late, they'll take it.
Rogers trying to find a spark here. They may have found it with 2:08 left in this first half.
They get the foul on Nygaard. Both teams in the penalty. Heinen to the line for two. Heinen hasn't scored a lot. The 5'8" senior forward. Lefty, we might add.
Yeah.
Splits at the line. 35-25, Maple Grove over Rogers. Stern with the fake and the drive.
Stern, the willowy sophomore, the pretty move there and finish.
Gordon almost had the steal, but she was able to get it off of Moberg. So even though she won't get credit for the steal, she will get credit for forcing the turnover. Kyla Nygaard, number 3, and an illegal screen on Maple Grove. So Nygaard with 2 quick fouls off the bench, and not what you want if you're Mark Cook.
No.
Maple Grove up by 12, so it's not like they're in a pickle here, but that can sting a little bit. Heinen drew the foul, and Heinen, I think, got lucky there. That's going to be the 3rd on Nygaard, because it didn't look like Heinen had the best angle on that attack, but Nygaard made contact with her, so she'll get 2 free throws out of it.
Wow.
Tough break for Nygaard. 3 fouls, no points. And Maple Grove in front, so it's not the most dire position to be in, but that could hurt them later if they have to manage the foul situation. Go ahead.
Just over a minute here, Mike. Let's see if Rogers can get a stop and perhaps get this thing back into single-digit range.
Well, they get one there. Kennedy Klick tried to fake her defender and instead got called for traveling.
And here we see Cook making a change here.
Getting Nygaard out, putting Hogue back in, and again, tough break there for Nygaard in that stretch of floor time, but we'll see what she can bring in the second half. And here is that chance you spoke of, Alex, for Rogers to get within 10. And instead, they cough it up. Kennedy Klick with another fast break, too.
Every time you make a turnover, Maple Grove's going to make you pay the hard way.
Klick with 8 off the bench. Deep 3. High Karam goes to Buzzelle. Emily Glass couldn't cash in. Kennedy Klick overshoots the mark.
That's an instance back there on the other end where you've got to use the glass for a shot like that. So those missed bunnies, those missed layups we were talking about earlier.
But Maple Grove gives Rogers another shot here. (39-27). Rogers may hold for the final shot. Oh, they found a nice opening. Alexis Moberg was wide open down low. Maple Grove with time. Kennedy Klick sees a lane and answers back.
That first step of hers is something else.
How about Kennedy Klick? 10 points off the bench to lead the Crimson, and a big bucket for Maple Grove after Alexis Moberg cashed in on a wide open look. This Crimson team, they've got some speed, they've got some defensive tenacity. Rogers, they're going to have to clean up some of those miscues if they want to work their way back.
Well, the turnovers especially, you see what happens with those turnovers. It's usually an easy transition basket for Maple Grove, and that's one thing they have to eliminate if they want to get back in this one.
We'll take a break and bring you the second half. More fireworks coming your way. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Alex Nagel back with you at Maple Grove Senior High School, where the Crimson lead the Rogers Royals 41-29 at the half. Looking at the first half numbers, Kennedy Klick leads the way with 10 points. Kyla Overskei with 9. Jordan Odie with 8. Ari Gordon with 6. Claire Stern with 6. Rogers led by Clara Glad with 8. Alexis Moberg with 6. Buzzelle held to just 4 points, 1 field goal. And Alex, I think the story of the game, look at the bench scoring for Rogers. They have 11 points. Maple Grove has 16, but the two coming off the bench, Klick and Gordon. Kennedy Klick, as soon as she came in, she made an instant impact.
Oh, I tell you what, that just made such a difference.
Second half underway. Rogers was back and forth. They had a few chances to tie or take the lead midway through the first half. Couldn't get it done, and Maple Grove used their speed and transition game to full effect. They're going to get a hit with a foul, though, as Claire Stern reached in.
A little aggressive on that.
And looking ahead, Maple Grove, they'll get Elk River on Thursday. The Elks regrouping somewhat. St. Michael Albertville on December 21st. That should be a good one.
Yeah.
Actually,
I tell you what, that Elk River game, that'll be a good one. Don't underestimate Elk River.
Well, they're rebuilding somewhat. STMA beat them by 34.
Yeah.
But the 21st, Alex, it's one of those nights where you're going to have a ton of great games across the schedule. Totino, Grace, and Hill Murray meet up that night. There's a deep three. Bullseye.
Yeah.
Kyla Overskei with her second tray. 44-29. Glad, the kick out. 3 on the way. Glass can't hit it. That will be a foul on Corman. Maple Grove with a rare transition miss.
So we now have Corman with 2 and Stern with 2 as well now.
On the other end, Clara Glad has 3 fouls, and Kyla Nygaard also has 3. So
Yep.
Rogers in a bit of trouble here. Glad's going to have to be mindful throughout the second half with 3 fouls. 15-footer, banking it in is Caitlin Mache. Alex, I think it goes without saying for Rogers, they have to find a way to get Buzzelle involved. She's their leading scorer, held to just 4 points, 1 field goal. Didn't get a lot of touches in that first half.
No question about it.
Audrey Corman with the touch and the finish.
Ooh.
Foul before the shot, but that's one way Buzzelle can pick up some rhythm, find an opportunity, use that first step.
Yep.
If you can't get the bucket, draw a foul. That's the second on Odie. And off the inbound, Clara Glad scores. Another 3 for Overskei, not this time. Here's a chance for Rogers. Buzzelle to Glad for 3. Stern scoops it up. Looking to go coast to coast. Not quite.
No,
Corman draws the foul on Mache and will shoot 2.
What a strong rebound by Corman. .62 junior. Gaining more confidence with each and every game.
Corman averaging 5.6 points per game. That's just the first foul on Mache. And it won't be long before Kennedy Klick, or I should say it won't take long for Kennedy Klick to re-enter the game.
There she is.
I've had a couple chats with Kennedy and really enjoys being at Maple Grove. And if you're Mark Cook, hang on, we've got a 3 from Rogers and it's pure. Glad to glass.
Well, if you're going to get back into this game, that's one way to do it.
Odie with the turnaround. Swish. Odie with 10. Buzzelle inside to Mache. Up, no good. Last touch by Corman. Glass to Buzzelle, off the screen. Ball is loose. Rogers wins the scrum. Glass for 3. Got it.
10-point game.
And this could
And here's the
help
steal.
out Buzzelle too.
Ooh, almost.
Not quite a steal, but Rogers dialing up the pressure. Stern.
Yep.
I'm not sure what happened there, but Stern threw it away.
Yeah, I think she was expecting somebody to be there, and there just wasn't. And we're seeing that half and full court pressure affecting Maple Grove here a little now. Perhaps an opening that Rogers has been looking for.
And with Glass scoring a couple of threes, if that can get some of the other Rogers players involved. Mache, though, having a tough time down low. Kennedy Klick using her speed. She's got a lane.
I tell you, one-on-one, there's just so hard to stop her.
She had an integral role off the bench at De La Salle. Doing well here at Maple Grove. Foul on the Crimson. That's on Overskei, her first personal. 13:33 to go. Maple Grove, go ahead.
Alexis Moberg is back in for Rogers. She provided something of a spark for the Royals when she was in that first half.
6 points off the bench for Moberg. Mache for 3. Caitlin just can't get anything going. Maple Grove looking for the run out. It wasn't pretty, but Odie will put it in for 2, and that's what matters. And a traveling violation on Rogers. 53-39.
The flame was flickering a while there for Rogers, and now it's snuffed out again. It's going to be tough to get that back.
You could say Maple Grove's flame is burning like crimson. I'll show myself out. Crimson and clover. Oh, wait, that's another thing entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
That one will get called every time.
That foul's on Kanz, and right away, you can use your body to penetrate, but you can't use the elbow.
No.
Tough break for the Crimson, who had a chance to burn their flame even brighter, but they still lead.
Oh.
And Rogers, another miss down low. Well, Moberg will get a chance at the line.
Chance to make amends here for that. Again, those missed bunnies. It's where you got to convert.
Another thing to note, Alex, that is the last foul to give for the Crimson, which means Rogers will be at the line the rest of the way. We know how crucial free throws can be.
Absolutely. Well, 12:43, a mountain of time left in this game, too.
A split at the line. Rogers wins the scrum. Last thought about it, but she's got the lanky Klick on her. Kennedy works around the screen, and Rogers has to get the timeout call in because Kennedy Klick was not fooled by that screen one bit.
No, she was not going to let her player escape anytime soon from that trap.
53-40, midway through the second half. And looking at that schedule, Alex, that St. Michael Albertville game, you know that's going to be a good one, December 21st.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could cover that one. So many great games with the schedule back to normal, at least for now.
Yeah.
Other games of note, De La Salle, January 15th. Speaking of Totino Grace, the Crimson will host them January 27th. Totino Grace off to that fast start.
Yep.
And the 2 dates with Centennial, January 21st and February 22nd. CCX will be here for that February 22nd matchup. But Maple Grove to Totino Grace, depending on how things play out, Alex, that could decide the conference. Blaine did get the win over them, though, recently.
Yep.
And we should point out they don't have a conference playoff between divisions. So if you win your division, you win your division. Mans almost walked, but she did get it off. And a foul on Moberg.
Yeah, Carly Anderson wanted to travel on that.
She and just about everyone cheering on the blue here. But I'll tell you what, this Maple Grove team, Mans beats her coverage, and we'll have a chance at 3.
Strong move by Emma Kanz.
You don't expect someone like Kanz, as Graham tosses the ball back to the ref. You don't expect someone like Kanz to run the floor like that or work her way inside, but she did, and that gives Maple Grove a big bucket. No three-point play, but the Crimson will take it nonetheless. Rogers with a quick answer as Alexis Moberg drains the baseline J. Moberg continuing to provide that spark. Another three-point play chance for Emma Kanz. Alex, Emma Kanz, you're talking about fires earlier. I think Kanz just ignited.
I tell you what,
the light,
doing the damage right now for the Crimson.
The light, the lamp, the fireplace, the fire pit, whatever you wish to use. Emma Kanz is doing that with a couple of and ones. She completes that three-point play.
And just when you think Rogers might be on the cusp of really getting back into this game, Maple Grove keeps widening the gap and putting them back to square one.
Crimson is a fitting name for them tonight, isn't it?
It sure is.
58-42. Maple Grove leads by 16. Mache. Lost it. Glad. Out to Glass for three. That's short. Ellie Buzzelle can't hang on to it. Ari Gordon going back in for the Crimson.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you have both Ari Gordon and Kennedy Klick out there, you get an idea of the potential that this Maple Grove team really has, Mike.
Overskei comes up short, and Nygaard hit with their fourth personal foul, and she looks a little frustrated. Ari Gordon trying to help her stave it off. But that means free throws for the Royals because of the foul situation. 1-1 for Rogers. Nygaard with their fourth foul. Clara Glad, a member of the National Honor Society, and has a nickname for her car.
I'd like to hear that one.
Shelby.
Well, that's an interesting name.
Well, I wonder if she owns a Mustang because they have a Mustang GT Shelby, if memory serves correct. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. Or maybe she just likes the name Shelby. She makes both free throws. That could help the Royals here. Gordon against Mache. Dead ball rebound to Rogers. 10:56 to go.
Kara Hogue, the 5'5" reserve senior, back in now for Maple Grove.
Holding call on Maple Grove. That means more free throws.
Well, inching closer and closer to that midway point here in this second half. This is where, if you're Rogers, you're down by 14. This is where you want to make every possession count.
And Mache, who has struggled on the floor, has a chance to score with the clock stopped. Mache considers herself a huge bookworm, but you don't have to take our word for it. She said it herself. And Rogers knocking down some free throws here. And then an offensive foul on Maple Grove. So Rogers with another stop. And because that's an offensive foul, as you know, no free throws awarded, but that will put Rogers in the double bonus the rest of the way. So they're going to get 2 free throws for the remaining 10.5 minutes. That's one way to get back in the game.
Absolutely.
And you can do so with the clock stopped. 3-pointers can help too.
And those threes help too.
That's what I said. Alex, are you mocking me or mimicking me?
I don't mean to.
That's all right.
And a steal, there we go.
Rogers hoping to mimic their success in the last one. Buzzelle, I think she was trying to draw a foul, sensing a defender from behind. Maple Grove calls timeout.
And
That last three, though, by Glad makes it a 9-point game, and Rogers once again inching their way back in this.
And I think Mark Cook sensed that his team was out of control a little bit, needed to take a break, settle down, get regrouped.
Looking ahead at Rogers, they get their first home game on Thursday with Centennial. That'll be a big one.
Yes.
They will participate in the St. Michael Albertville Holiday Invitational. They get Chanhassen and Edina. Edina, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
They may have a tough time with the top lake teams, but Edina with a surprising start. And Chanhassen, no slouch either. They gave Wayzata a run with Mara Braun. Other games of note, they get to Tino Grace twice on the 13th of January and Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, the bane of any sports guy out there. But that's another story. They also get a match with Sartell St. Stephen. That's in their section. So looking ahead, Alex, Rogers, they get another chance to make a statement with Centennial. You know the Cougars are always in the thick of it, and being moved to Section 7 favors them significantly. And Tino Grace, I'll be seeing them Friday when they play Champlain Park, and again when they play Hill Murray. This Eagles team, I don't want to say it was a case of where did they come from, but they started the season with the win over Benilde St. Margaret's.
Yeah.
Maple Grove with the ball. This is a big possession here. Overskei for three. Off the back iron. Buzzelle with the rebound. Moberg for three. Looks high, and it is.
I think that was a wasted possession there for Rogers. Didn't need that three-point right off the bat. You got the bonus in your favor.
You have 9:41 left. You don't need to force anything yet.
No.
If it were 3 minutes, 2 minutes in the game, I could understand that. But we're up here, not down there.
No.
And one. Blair Stern.
You know, I tell you what, Stern may be in the shadow of the likes of Ori Gordon and Kennedy Klick, but I tell you what, don't sell this young lady short.
Blair Stern's nicknames in the AAU circuit are Chili and Sternberger. And she just gave Maple Grove a chili cheeseburger. I'll show myself out again. Buzzelle, baseline J, no good. Rebound, putback, and the foul for Alexis Moberg. I'll tell you what, Alex, Moberg doing a tremendous job off the bench with Buzzelle struggling.
I tell you what, she sure has. She's made an awfully alert offensive rebound and putback there. Something that Rogers desperately needed. Stay in the thick of this one. Whoops.
Wedgie.
Well, that'll happen. And no, I'm not tall enough to get it either.
Kennedy Klick isn't.
All right, Gordon isn't.
This is always fun. Yes.
So all of a sudden, I don't feel quite so bad.
This is what I love most about wedgies. Who's going to go up and get the ball?
Anybody have a broom? There we go.
Now, does the official get credit for those points?
I don't think so.
I think he should. I think we should give him 2 points. It'll be like, whose line is it anyway? We'll give him those points. He can spend them however he wants, even though they don't matter. They don't mean a thing. And with that, it's time for a game of hoedown. Oh, wait, no, we're not on that show. This is high school basketball. Maple Grove with the ball because, as you know, on a wedgie, when it gets wedged like that, it's ruled a jump ball, and Maple Grove had the arrow. But I think, okay, Maple Grove still has the arrow, so they get it because it was on a free throw. But Ari Gordon doesn't care about technicalities. He gets the finger roll, and now what?
I'm not sure.
Was that a warning?
I'm not what that was.
Oh, I see. The official had to stop because of the possession arrow.
Okay,
So
all right.
Because of the wedgie, Maple Grove got it on the arrow, but whoa. Mache with a little bit of a push-off on
I was
Klick.
just going to say, I was a little afraid that Machi might have been called for the offensive foul there using the arm or the elbow. May have gotten away with one there.
Klick did everything she could to sell it, but Mache got the bucket. Buzzelle with the block. And who's that foul on? It looks like it's on Odie.
Yeah.
That is her third. And going back to what you said, Alex, about the foul situation, that hustle by Buzzelle was able to get the steal, and now she can go to the line for two.
Well, it's these little things, these free throws, easy, the bunnies. This is your chance to crawl back into single-digit range. This is where you got to make it count.
Buzzelle, 4 points, has yet to score in this half.
We're having another discussion down there at the scorer's table.
I've been here a few times, Alex. Every time play stops, this gym falls silent.
Definitely silent.
I mean, library silent.
Yeah.
Buzzelle knocks down the front end. Ellie Buzzelle, as we noted, the spike ball enthusiast.
Now here comes the half on full court pressure.
It's an 8-point game now. Odie, the runner, short.
Buzzelle with a rebound.
Buzzelle, she may not be scoring a lot, but contributing those hustle plays as of late.
Oh, what a nice give and go. I tell you what, Mark Cook wants to talk about it.
That makes it a 6-point game. It looked like Rogers was in trouble. They trailed by 16 not that long ago.
Yeah, I know. And still a ton of time left too, Mike.
The free throws have helped. Rogers 14 of 16.
The one thing that I think Rogers, is at least for the time being, has taken away is those transition opportunities that Maple Grove was getting into.
Buzzelle, it's fitting that she's been involved the way she has these last couple of plays, because when she was asked what her strengths are, she said shooting, assisting, and making those around me better. I love getting my team involved in everything. And she got Mache involved. Mache got the dime. And Pat Boland, before he took the job, or a college job, he did note that Buzzelle is learning to attack the basket and finish with contact. Didn't need to in that last play, but you saw that give and go play.
Ooh, Buzzelle almost got the steal
Buzzelle
there
is
and knocked that one
still
away.
getting after it. So this could be a season low for Buzzelle, depending on how the rest of this game goes, but all of a sudden, this is turning into a potential photo finish. Here come the Crimson with numbers. Oh, Stern had it, but couldn't put it in. Buzzelle to Glass.
Glass thought about it.
Rogers with plenty of time, 7:25 to go, so they don't have to force anything. They can look for a good shot or a foul, and Mache will go back to the line.
Smart play by Machi.
Caitlin Mache. Great footwork, a variety of post moves. Pat Boland, before he left, said Mache would be a difference maker this season. And Carly Anderson, certainly no stranger. She was the B team coach before Pat Boland left. So for Carly, it was just a natural return. Again, she helmed the Rogers team once before. And Carly told me Mache, as Kanz gets the rebound, not only is she a great post player, she's also the Deadpool of the team. She's not afraid to roast anyone. In a positive, fun way, of course. She splits at the line. That makes it a 5-point game. Kanz, another miss down low. Alex, all these misses down low for Maple Grove have allowed Rogers to work their way back.
Almost eerily reminiscent of that game with Eden Prairie a few short weeks ago.
In that one, it was back and forth, but the Eden Prairie defense wore down Maple Grove. That's a big steal for Klick. No basket, but free throws coming.
Well, I tell you what, if you need something to happen for your team, Kennedy Klick is the one to make that happen. She comes in handy for Mark Cook, I'll tell you what.
Shooting foul, and Rogers is now out of fouls to give. Maple Grove, no stranger to close games. They had to edge one out with Shakopee, trailed by 8 in the closing minutes before working their way back to a victory. Mark Cook said, we got bailed out on that one, but I say this all the time, the hallmark of a contender, how you win the ugly games. And sometimes you can look flawless in one half and out of sorts the next. Buzzelle short on the 3, but Klick touched it.
Yeah, I think Klick got a hand on it.
She knew it too. The
Yep.
look on her face,
Yep.
She knew right away that she made a mistake. And Rogers catches a break. If they can find someone, and they do. Buzzelle again. I'm not sure you want to take that shot at this stage.
Well, I'm not sure either, but
Again, I'm up here, not down
Yeah.
there. But Ari Gordon with the take to the rim. She has 10 off the bench. Off
Oh,
the feet
look
from
at
Klick,
Kennedy.
who gets the steal. 2-on-1. Kennedy will
Jesus.
take it in herself.
I tell you what,
Klick it or bucket. Or in Kennedy's case, she can do both. She can Klick it and she can get buckets.
yep.
Kanz sealing off Mache. Scramble for the board.
I tell you what, you talk about game changers, takeover artists. Kennedy Klick has got to be in that conversation.
Free throws coming for Maple Grove. That was a foul on Rogers. That's the 4th on Glad, so she has to be careful. Kyla Overskei. 1-and-1 scenario here for the Crimson.
Well, Maple Grove, which had the momentum slip away from it here for just a bit, needed to have something happen for them, and they seem to have found that spark, Mike.
They split at the line. It was a 5-point game not that long ago. Mache out to Glass, looking for some space. Can't find it. Buzzelle looking to make a move. Mache sets the screen. 3 from the wing is long. Klick will bring it up. Here comes that speed. I'll tell you what, Kennedy Klick does not shy about contact. If she thinks she's bumped, she's going to let you know.
Yep.
But she does draw the foul. Up here, it looked like it could have gone either way, but Kennedy Klick able to get the foul call in her favor. More importantly, free throws for Kennedy.
And a chance to widen that lead now.
And even though she comes off the bench, she was one of the leading scorers for Maple Grove, averaging 12.8 a game. And with that, she matches her season high, 18. And this is all coming off the bench, and for Kennedy, a lot of it being done with free throws here in this second half. And free throws coming for Rogers, as Moberg got fouled on the take to the rim.
You know, it's good to see Rogers getting back to what kind of gotten them back into this game, taking the ball to the rim, drawing the foul, getting to the free throw line. They got away from that for a bit.
And they trail by 14, so this is where they could work their way back. Wahlberg splits, dead ball rebound to the Crimson. And if Maple Grove is able to hang on for this win, Kennedy Klick, the difference maker on offense and on defense. Buzzelle held to 8 points, not allowed to explode like she has in prior games. Kennedy Klick,
Oh, my goodness.
speaking of explosions, blasts in for another bucket
I tell
and a
you
chance
what.
at 3.
I think I ran out of superlatives for Kennedy Klick in the last game.
Kennedy Klick with her first 20-point game of the season. She completes the three-point play. 21 points off the bench. She probably would start on almost any other team, but relishes her role here. Always says hello when we cross paths at a Maple Grove game. Mache from the key looks short, and it is.
Well, again, Mike, I think when you have both Kennedy Klick and Ari Gordon coming off the bench like they do, at least tonight anyway, you're beginning to see glimpses of the potential that Maple Grove really has, what they can accomplish later on this season.
Look who is there once again. Kennedy Klick got the steal, found Kanz, dumps it off to Odie. Maple Grove doesn't have to force anything now. 4 minutes to go, and Maple Grove can eat up time. Up by 16. Overskei was looking for the silencer. Ari Gordon there, no good. Kanz. No three-point play this time, but she will shoot 2.
It's got to be a luxury for Mark Cook when you can not have just one, but two very solid posts in both Kanz and Audrey Corman.
Corman, I think, is the more polished of the two, but Kanz with a couple of crucial three-point plays in the midway part of this second half. And once again for Rogers, it's going to be another case of being right there,
Yep.
having chances. Moberg sealed off by Klick, who gets the rebound. Looking to run. She'll get the dime to Gordon.
That was pretty.
Timeout Rogers, but Kennedy Klick, she is everywhere in this one. Points, rebounds. She is levitating. And I mean levitating.
I
She's
tell you-
blasted off by now.
Again, you have to give this Maple Grove team a lot of credit because they saw their lead shrink to 5 points here not that long ago. And look at it now.
78-59, and Maple Grove, I'd say, has locked in the win now. Kennedy Klick, a season-high 21, and Maple Grove, they don't post rebounds and assists and things like that on the hub. I wish they did, because I have a feeling Kennedy Klick maybe would have, I don't know if she'd have a double-double, but she'd have a pretty high number of assists, steals, rebounds.
Yeah.
She has done a little bit of everything. That is why Maple Grove is going to pull away with this win, most likely.
Yep.
And a fitting song choice in Levitating from Dua Lipa, because that's what Kennedy Klick has done.
And I think it's important for this Maple Grove team, too, considering the rough stretch that they went through here just with those 3 Lake Conference opponents. now kind of steering the ship straight again, getting back on the winning track.
And as we noted before, as Moberg will go to line for 2, 3:09 left, they weren't at full strength, but
Right.
starting the season against 3 Lake Conference opponents, all 3 of them state tournament contenders in Wayzata, EP, and Minnetonka, I can't think of a better way to prepare for the season
Right.
than taking on perhaps the toughest conference in the state.
Well, those kinds of games will help you and will go a long way in getting you battle tested once section time rolls around.
And the Crimson have one more in St. Michael Aberville on the 21st. They're not
Yep.
section rivals this year, but that should be a fun one.
Oh,
Tessa
boy.
Johnson going up against some of her AAU brethren, including Kennedy Klick, Alexis Moberg. Knocks down both free throws, and you got to give your hat off to Alexis Moberg here, who has 14 off the bench.
She's had a solid game for Rogers. She really has.
She did everything she could to get Rogers
Oh,
back
yeah.
in this game. Just not quite enough. Rogers throws it away. This Rogers team, don't count them out just yet. Remember, they've got a couple of D1 commits on their roster. You know Buzzelle will look for a bounce-back game, and she'll have her opportunities to do so. But I think Rogers is getting a sense of that learning curve. They struggle with St. Michael Aberville against a team that can go toe-to-toe in Maple Grove.
Oh.
And if there's anyone who was due for a positive play, it was Kyla Nygaard. 4 fouls, couldn't get much going.
Well, I tell you what, for somebody, and here she goes again.
The layup, the steal, and Buzzelle's not going to quit no matter what the time and score is.
I tell you what, for somebody who's riding those 4 fouls like Nygaard, she wants to make amends for that, and she's still playing awfully hard.
Kennedy Klick will go to the bench. I think that will be it for her.
And a well-deserved rest of that.
Ava Cosette going in. 21 points, rebounds, assists, steals, you name it. Kennedy did it. The story of this game, Alex, is that deep, vaunted bench from Maple Grove. And there's one of them.
Yep.
As Ari Gordon. Remember, she was ill, missed the first 2 games of the year, and held her own against Minnetonka down low. She did score 10 to lead the Crimson in that one. You wonder if she was healthy enough and had her legs under her.
Yeah.
Maybe she makes a difference, but she's making one here. Combined, Klick and Gordon have 33 points, with free throws coming for Ari Gordon.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thought here earlier this evening. What if she had been there? How much of a difference that might have made in that game.
Overall, I waited until Ari Gordon completed the second of her free throws because overall, the Crimson have outscored the Royals 36-19 from the bench.
Oh.
And it's not often you talk about bench scoring of this nature, Alex,
Yeah, I know.
but in the case of Maple Grove, their bench has Kennedy Klick and Ari Gordon for tonight. They
Yeah.
might start in future games.
Yeah. It's when you can combat an opponent in waves, that'll really wear an opponent down.
That's what it takes to win in 4A, though. And when Kennedy Klick made the move to Maple Grove, she was originally going to go to Roseville, then decided to make the trek to Maple Grove. We know the Crimson year in and year out. They have had solid teams. And Rogers, they're not giving
Clara
up
Glad with a
either.
nice steal.
You got to like that.
Finish.
And no matter what the time and score is, Clara Glad with the steal in the bucket. And that could be helpful for Rogers because they have St. Michael Aberville in their section. If they make it to state, they might see Maple Grove again, so you never want to give up. That's a walk because you never know when you might run into one of these opponents again.
Yep.
And Rogers, as we said, they were right there. I think if you got Ellie Buzzelle involved a little more, she didn't get a lot of shots or touches tonight, but if you can find a way to increase her involvement, who knows? Moberg is fouled away from the ball, so Buzzelle won't get an offensive rebound to her credit. Rogers will shoot some free throws here. Academic at this point. With 46 seconds to go, Alex. I'd say the story of this game, Kennedy, Klick, and Ari Gordon.
Boy, I tell you what.
You cover another school like Hopkins or Minnetonka. Well, Minnetonka has that platoon system as well.
Yep.
It's not often, though, where you can go to your bench and know you have a bona fide athlete
Right.
to give you quality minutes. Maple Grove has that luxury. A lot of other times, you're putting in reserves to give your starters a breather.
Yeah.
In Maple Grove's case, you could throw Kennedy in and watch her do some magic. And speaking of magic, Audrey Corman has one more trick up her sleeve. So Rogers will regroup. Maple Grove will go back to 500 with their third straight win and pick up a key conference victory in Northwest Suburban play. But not before Rogers gets a second chance bucket. Clara Glad, she'll finish with 19. Props to Clara. She had a fine performance, but the night belongs to Maple Grove. 83-67 the final. And Alex, I know you're not a big fan of this song because of its USC connections, but I think it's a deserving one for Kennedy, Klick, and Ari Gordon.
I tell you what, just what a fabulous outing for those two. You know, and it's just so good to see Ari Gordon back in action, back out there on the hardwood and playing well.
And fun to see Kennedy Klick have one of her best games of her high school career. We'll try to get a word with those two before we wrap it up. This is high school girls basketball. Maple Grove beats Rogers 83-67. Joining me are Ari Gordon and Kennedy Klick. They came off the bench tonight for Maple Grove, but they helped the Crimson outscore the Royals 36-19 in bench points. Ari, we'll start with you because you missed the first couple games of the season recovering from an illness. You didn't look sick tonight. Well, you did, but sick in another way.
Thank you.
So how exciting is it to get back out there, and how vital is your influence against a Northwest Suburban team as tough as Rogers?
Yeah, it's great to be back, honestly, with the girls. It's so great to be in the gym with the energy. It's amazing. The girls are great. Me being a senior this year, I'm just trying to lead as best as I can. The girls are honestly backing me up, doing the rest, and, we're getting it done.
And how would you say it's showing with your third straight win? You started with a tough stretch of games against the Lake Conference, and you look pretty smooth now. Get a close one over Shakopee, you hold off Rogers, and here you are, back at 500.
Yes, honestly, Coach was saying that it's great to have the Lake Conference's games for us to push our abilities. I think we can really show it down on the court and let them know what we can do as a Maple Grove team for sure.
What was your approach tonight on defense? Because you and Kennedy hooked up well, and it's not often where teams that send in their bench players, usually they do it to give their starters a breather. In your case, you can come in and make an instant impact. That's what you did tonight.
Thank you. Honestly, we're just tag teaming for each other, making sure we got each other's backs, making sure we got each other's energy, staying long, staying wide, getting tips, getting everything we can, doing the little things.
Kennedy, a season high off the bench, 21 points, although you don't care if you start or not. At least when I talk to you, you're happy to provide whatever role you can for this team. But it wasn't just the points. You were doing everything, rebounds, steals, assists. Whatever role you took up, you flourished. So how did you find a way to be so influential in this game?
You know, it's all with my teammates, the energy in the gym and all of the all that they bring just makes it all better.
And you took a circuitous path to get here. What do you think is different between last year and this year, where last year you joined this team, but it was a COVID-shortened season, nothing was normal. We're slowly getting our way back there, but how do you think that year of experience with the Crimson is helping you this time around?
I think my experience last year not really playing a bigger role than I am this year, just with the whole leadership thing, like Ari said, being able to lead the team.
And your second half effort was crucial as Rogers was inching their way back. I think they got within 5. All of a sudden, you got a steal, a couple of runouts. You used your speed to your advantage. I'm surprised you're not on the track team because I think you fit right in. So what led you to flip that switch?
Just the energy in the gym. You know, once we got the run going, we were unstoppable.
Unstoppable, sounds like it. At least you played that way. What kind of juice does that give you when you're able to start a run or throw a counterpunch like you did tonight and do it no matter how it comes, whether it's a bucket or a steal or even a dish to Ari, I think, in one occasion?
I don't even know. It just naturally happens. Once I find her, I find her.
So with you back at full health and Maple Grove back at full strength, what are you looking forward to as the season continues?
Honestly, we're just looking forward to getting on the court more, like I'm saying, getting more great games against a great team. We got STMA next week. We got Centennial?
Yeah.
Centennial at the end of this week. So we're just excited to play more games and just get competition in.
I would say the end goal is to win our conference and get to state.
Well, I certainly think you can do both, but a long way between now and then. You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Mom. She's in New York, so love you. Hi, Mom.
Well, hello, mothers. I'm sure they're proud. I'm sure everyone is proud. Thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win. And remind me never to rub you the wrong way or you're going to pickpocket me and go off for 2. So just make sure I don't get on your bad side, all right? I'm kidding.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Ari Gordon and Kennedy Klick, and that wraps up our coverage here from Maple Grove. For Alex Nagel and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.